Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm doing an unboxing and first look of the 1v1 Fight Gear Peacemaker boxing gloves. So stay tuned. Hey, what's up guys? Carlo here. Today I'm doing an unboxing and first look of the 1v1 Fight Gear Peacemaker boxing gloves. These are handmade here in the United States and are made to order. They retail starting at $700. You can get these anywhere between 10 to 16 ounces and you can get it in either lace-up or hook and loop Velcro closure. I opted to get mine in 16-ounce lace-ups. Before I cut this box open and we take a look at the gloves, I did want to give you guys a quick overview off of 1v1's website to kind of give you the detailed breakdown of these gloves. So again, they start at $700, whether they're lace-up or Velcro. You can get it. From there, you kind of go through a drop-down menu and you pick the colorway, size, you get a free t-shirt that's included, t-shirt size, glove logo color, inner liner color, lace color, piping, seam cover, welting, foam padding choice, horsehair or foam, or both. You can do horsehair and foam. That's what I got with these gloves, was a combination of horsehair and foam. That's typically my favorite combination when it comes to padding style with boxing gloves. Everybody's a little bit different. But the Peacemaker moniker has been synonymous with America's Wild West frontier for over 150 years. In modern parlance, it signifies any tool or method that uses strength or reputation to resolve a problem, hence boxing gloves. With 1v1's Peacemaker horsehair bag training glove, both strength and reputation are abundant. Built as an homage to our country's great history, boxing mid-20th century design fundamentals are integrated with modern materials and manufacturing techniques. The Peacemaker horsehair gloves use a combination of horsehair and foam as its primary padding. This upgrade to the old horsehair only design allows for increased protection while maintaining the form, fit, and durability of the classic versions. The Peacemaker is ideal for training on the heavy bag or with mitts, since its firm horsehair padding will hold up well against abuse. So it's basically saying that these are more or less kind of designed to be more of like a heavy bag mitt glove, not so much for sparring. I'd probably say like their ARC gloves or their PTE gloves are more of a suitable training glove specifically for sparring. The all-new foam version of padding, on the other hand, has a slightly more forgiving feel with enough cushioning to allow for sparring. So you can get this in an all-foam version without horsehair for sparring, if you so desire, while still having the great protection and comfort of the horsehair version. As with all our gloves, these are made from exquisite cowhide leather imported directly from Italy. Choose your logo color for the gloves, white, black, gold, or silver, as well as the seam cover and piping colors. Seam welting, an extra layer of leather in between the main seams, is free or on standards and customs, with a triple cuff option is included with custom orders. So yeah, these are all pretty much made to order. All US gloves are made to order with a production time that is in accordance with the updated schedule listed on the home page. So there you have it, straight from their website. Kind of wanted to give you guys that overview before I got these gloves open. So let's go ahead and get these boxed open and take a look at the gloves. Now, this is not my first rodeo with 1v1. I've done numerous reviews of Jason's product. Jason is the owner and founder of 1v1 Fight Gear. Years ago, I had one of their very first pairs, which was kind of like a bronze copper colored pair. I actually ended up giving those as a gift to my cousin, and he uses those in his training. And then over the years, I've done reviews like on their PTE gloves. I actually had a pair of their horsehair, one of the very earliest iterations of the Peacemaker gloves. They weren't called the Peacemakers at the time. At least Jason hadn't officially came out with the Peacemaker line yet. But I did have a metallic pair of horsehair gloves. Now, I'm pretty sure over time, just like a lot of manufacturers, is, you know, the gloves make some changes or updates to the gloves. So first things first, you do have this nylon drawstring bag, really nice. Rotate it around to the right side. And there you have it. So you have this 1v1 nylon drawstring bag in blue. It does have 1v1 Fight Gear, basically like in a gold colorway. So let's go ahead and open it up. And there you guys can see it for yourselves. Just beautiful. Slide that open. Take that bag off. And there you have it. Beautifully wrapped. So it's basically, they use like one of those sealing bags that you just kind of, it basically singes off the end of the bag and heat seals it. So you have that. You also have this pretty cool gold seal. Basically kind of like your official, you got yourself an authentic pair of 1v1 gloves. So that's a nice added touch that they put on the bag. So it's basically like a foil seal. It has kind of like this embossed touch to it, but it says certified as 1v1 fight gear, authentic. So you have that seal right there. Tell you got yourself an authentic product. And let's go ahead and open up the bag. All right. So first things first, the right glove. You can see it comes in this beautiful, kind of like a navy blue and orange colorway. Here is the right glove. Beautiful looking glove overall with the welted seams. And let me give you guys kind of a close-up of that. And my initial look of these gloves, you know, obviously I haven't had much time with them other than right now just to see the gloves, but with the welted seams, everything just looks perfect. I mean, the leather on here has a little bit of a grainy texture to it, but it is pretty smooth. And I think it has more of like kind of a satin finish to it. It's not a glossy leather, but this is Italian leather that he utilizes on these gloves. You have a flat cuff wrist support. Welted seams throughout. I love the contrast between the orange and that navy blue. Looks really sharp. 1v1 in white on the logo right there on the back. I think that looks really good as well. Very clean looking. You know, matches the glove very well in terms of like marketing, in terms of having that logo stand out, but it's not overblown. It doesn't look overdone. So that looks really good. And it does say Peacemaker vertically right here on the inner wrist. And I think that looks clean as well. So you have that Peacemaker designation. What you basically have, no, that's not white. That's like a cream piping throughout the glove. You also have that cream piping at the base of the thumb. I'm a little colorblind today, but yeah, that's cream. It's not white. And you can tell because the laces are white, so it gives you a little bit of contrast. So you basically have cream, orange, and basically like a, I guess you could say in between like a navy and a royal blue. Not quite as bright as a royal blue and not as dark as navy. I'd say it's right there in between. You do have a nice, large, firm grip bar, and you do have a leather attached thumb, and no ventilated holes above or below the grip bar, or as well as on the inside of the thumb. The liner on here, let me go ahead and take the lace off, or should I say undo the laces. The liner is kind of like a bronze color, and it feels like a smooth, almost like a smooth polyester, kind of silky type of fabric. So you have that on the inside liner on the back. You also notice that it has kind of like a micro suede on the other side. So the one that's facing the inner wrist support, that liner is kind of like a dark tan colored micro suede material, which feels really good too. So both that kind of silky liner, that polyester, and then that micro suede. I'm going to slide my hands here in a minute and tell you guys how it feels, but that feels really nice and very smooth. There's also a tag on the inside that says 1v1 Fight Gear, made in the United States, and then your typical warning warning on the back side of that. The foam on here, again, is foam and horsehair. You know, one thing about horsehair foam is when you feel the knuckles, it doesn't feel completely symmetrical and flat like a regular foam glove does, because foam obviously is pretty much uniform throughout the entire surface. Anytime you use like horsehair is not an even type surface or even type material, right? So when you feel the knuckles, it does feel, you can definitely tell that there's horsehair in there with foam, but I say it's about medium in firmness. It's not an overly stiff feeling glove, but it's not too soft to where you can just push your fingers all the way through. So you have that combination of that foam and the horsehair, which feels really good. Next up, get that left glove out. Get that. And the left glove Looks good as well. Leather on here is probably some of the nicest I've seen when it comes to boxing gloves. Just a very high-end feeling glove. You would have to see it in person to really appreciate this, but it just feels very robust. You know, when you're holding the glove, it just feels like a very well-made glove. The leather feels very thick on it, and it has a very kind of a strong leather smell. I don't know if you put some like water repellent sealer or something on there, but both the orange, the blue, and even that cream colored piping just feels very thick and robust. And also the option for the added welted seams is a very nice touch in terms of durability. And I mean, the stitching on here with the double stitching looks pretty much immaculate. And you guys see for yourself where the thumb meets the index finger. Try to get you guys all the details as close up as possible. And again, you guys can see that there. I mean, it just looks great. Inside liner again, and that piping feels really nice. Padding for the wrist support, you're looking at about an inch on the back of kind of a softer density foam padding, and maybe about 3/4 of an inch on the inner portion of the wrist. So you do have the padding on both sides. In terms of balance, it's a very well balanced glove. So distribution of weight from the top, middle to the bottom of the glove is done very well. Obviously, I haven't put these on the scale, so I don't know how much they weigh, which I will find out after I start using these in training. I'll do a review on these, and then I'll tell you guys the weight on them. But you can see very well balanced glove. In terms of the thickness of the foam, you're probably looking at about 2 3/4, maybe almost 3 inches in total thickness over the knuckles of the foam padding. So you have a good amount of padding over your knuckles. Let's go ahead and slide the gloves on. Oh, forgot to show you guys also, it does have 16, so you do have the weight that is right there at the bottom of the wrist support near the base piping. So let's go ahead and slide my hand in. Oh wow, man, that feels really good. Oh, that liner feels great. So the liner feels great. I think the biggest difference with these gloves is going to be two things. So the thumb feels great. The base piping feels accommodating. I feel like it's nice and parallel. When I pull down on the fingers, it doesn't pull the tip of the thumb down. But what really is the biggest difference in my mind with this glove from other outgoing models I've tried from 1v1 is going to be the grip bar as well as the secondary grip bar, which is really unlike any I've ever felt. There's basically this large padding which feels like suede. It's almost like suede or leather. So the same material that's on the inner portion of the thumb, which feels like a leather grain. It doesn't feel like the slick leather. It feels more like a suede type leather on the inner thumb. Is the same material. They made almost like a pad, a really large pad for where your fingers can just grab onto. And it's thick and wide enough to where you get all 4 fingers that can mount on that leather foam pad, and you can really get a nice good grip. It's probably one of the best finger compartments I've ever felt. And that padding on the inside is very unique. Again, like nothing I've felt before. Most companies will just leave like the stitching on the inside and your finger just kind of grabs on the stitching, or they'll put like a piece of neoprene or a little bit of padding with some felt. So there's variations I've seen with multiple different companies and different models, but nothing quite like this. And it pretty much goes the entire length of the finger compartment. It like starts from like right here all the way across. And obviously you can't see it, but it's a very thick piece that basically comes from the bottom right here and goes all the way deep, almost to the grip bar right here. So again, that secondary grip bar feels fantastic. You also have, I'd say, about an inch of medium density foam in the back of the thumb, so you get some support and protection there. And the grip bar to me it feels really good. The wrist is in perfect alignment and it's not too wide. You can see I have, I guess, medium average size hands and wrist, and the opening at the bottom is not too large. It's also not a very long cuff glove. So if this is more to me like a medium when it comes to the height of the glove and the width. It's not overly large, it's not too small either. I'd say medium to maybe the compact side. In terms of being broken in, I'd say that these are semi broken in right now, maybe 50%. You can open and close your hands. Not too bad, but I feel the more I start using these gloves, it's going to soften up this layer of foam up top on the strike surface, and that's when I'm going to be able to really open and close my hands even more to really catch and parry shots. But it's not bad right now. So it's not stiff, it's not ultra soft. I'd say it's right in the middle in terms of being able to open and close your hands. And again, there's that attached thumb with some stitching. It's kind of right there with some white stitching. But that feels really good. But yeah, the big thing that really stand out is going to be just that secondary grip bar, and essentially puts your hand in a really nice position. I'll really know once I start hitting and landing with these gloves, but just from my initial impression, I think I'm gonna love using these gloves. And just feeling, you get, man, excellent pop and that nice flat punch surface. But man, there's like a piece of foam in there combined with that horsehair that it really absorbs and kind of disperses the energy from landing the punch. Because even when I get that nice impact, I don't really feel any stress or any pressure on my knuckles. So basically a combination of foam and the horsehair is doing a really nice job. So definitely excited to use these gloves in training. It's been a while that I've used a pair of these 1v1 gloves, but man, I'm thoroughly impressed on the upgrades and kind of the evolution of these gloves. You know, not only do they look amazing, the quality is top notch. I mean, probably some of the best in the world in terms of the leather quality, the stitching, the overall look of the glove, the comfort, the liner, thumb position, the padding seems to be really nice, that extra grip bar. To me, you know, this is what you would expect from a high level, you know, brand, especially one made here in the United States. There's a lot of pride when it comes to products, whether it's, you know, 1v1, Barrick, Gollum. I mean, there's only a small handful of craftsmen here in the United States, and they all do an amazing job. But 1v1 is has always been one of my favorites, and I think this is going to be an amazing glove to use, and it's going to make for an amazing review as well. Really looking forward to it. Really excited about these gloves. One last thing I forgot to mention too is that the laces on here are very nice as well. They seem long enough to get a couple revolutions, not too long and not too short, and they're like a cotton poly blend lace with plastic tips, but they're very stretchable. They're not like those cheap cotton laces where they fray really easily, so definitely went with a nicer quality lace. But again, very excited for these gloves. We'll start using these in training and eventually do a review. So if you guys have any questions or comments, you guys know what to do. I'll put the link down below in the description box where you can find these 1v1 fight gear Peacemaker boxing gloves. See you guys later. Peace.